Hi folks, my name is Rachel and I'm so happy you're here today. Today I'm going to talk about how to build self-trust. The first is keeping promises for yourself. So if there are things that you say you're going to do you do them? The more I promise myself things and don't follow through, the less I'm going to trust myself. Something that has helped me a lot with keeping myself accountable is doing Pomodoro timers, which are timers where there's a set amount of time for work and there's a set amount of time for rest. And there's this one YouTuber that I really admire. She does these work with me sessions on YouTube where she keeps track of the time. And I love that the rest periods are a little bit malleable. She does it specifically for neurodivergent folks. This is by no means affiliated or a partnership. This is just something that has personally helped me quite a bit and that I admire a lot. And with that being said, with the Pomodoro timer, you don't have to do it on YouTube with someone else involved. You can just set the timers for yourself to where you know that each period of work time is dedicated to something specific and you know that you have rest to look forward to. So it kind of makes the tasks feel a bit more digestible in a way. The next thing I'd like to talk about is supporting your body. With my lifestyle and acting, listening to my body is a big part of it. And I had to learn through breath work and meditation and movement and personal reflection how to listen to my body. And you may be like, Rachel, that's too much. I'm not interested. That's fair. But if you are interested, a way to get started with listening to your body is whenever you have a cue in your body, are you able to listen to it? And by that I mean, if you are really thirsty, are you giving yourself water? If you need to go to the restroom, did you go to the restroom? Or are you holding it until you're miserable? You know, these are just some tangible ways to support yourself as much as you're able. I kind of feel like there's like two of me in a way, right? Like there's Rachel, my spirit, and there's Rachel, my body. And I feel like I'm like my own mom in a way because I have to take care of myself the way I would a child or my cat. And my body is just telling me what it needs. It's not trying to like get on my nerves or anything. It's not trying to do something wrong. It's just giving me cues that there's something that I need. And so if there's a signal, answer it, and it'll help you build that trust with your body because you're responsible for taking care of yourself. And if you show your body that you will show up for your own needs, great, that builds a lot of self-trust. Another great thing to do in supporting your body is being proactive with those needs as well. So something that helps me a lot is yoga. And I know that yoga is a huge part of a lot of folks' lives that have so kindly watched this. If yoga's not a part of your life, that's okay. Especially if you grew up in a religious environment where you have been strongly deterred from it. And by religious environment, I mean mostly like the American church of Christianity. There's a lot of xenophobia in the American church where unknown things are very, very scary and feel very, very threatening. So that being said, I know yoga may seem very scary. It is not what you think it is. It's not there to be inviting the devil in. It is a wonderful way to connect your mind with your body and your breath. And especially if you've never listened to your body before, or you've been told that you can't trust your body, you can't trust your senses or your feelings or your nervous system. Yoga was an emotional experience for me to learn to do. I've found that the more I do yoga, the more I'm able to trust myself. It does feel a lot like I'm showing up for myself, and it is a way to mitigate things like anxiety. It's not there to hurt you, okay? If I'm proactive in a way that suits my lifestyle and suits my preferences, then I'm able to do more of the things that I do enjoy because I've built up that foundation. And does it have to, ow, I just got my ear pierced, sorry. Isn't it cute? Ah, a little conch piercing. It makes me feel like a pop star. Anyway, if I'm taking care of my body, That's all I had to say. It makes me feel better. The last thing on supporting your body is being warm. I don't know if you noticed, okay, but women's clothes and men's clothes are made with such drastically different levels of quality. Like, we paid the same, or I paid more. And what do you mean my clothes are all see-through? And men's aren't. And so, some brands that I've noticed do have quality women's clothes that I do like to wear is Uniqlo. I've only ever read the name, so please forgive me. I really love their clothes, where it's literally designed to keep you warm. And having been in the snow for 10 million years now, and by 10 million years, I mean a few months, but who's counting? I really needed those. I'm usually wearing their clothes, honestly. All right, moving on. Another thing that helps a lot with building self-trust is understanding what your core values are. And I learned about it first in therapy because I was like, why do I feel so bad? And some of it was that I wasn't living in ways that aligned with my core values. But also, I grew up in a way where I was told in religious and educational settings, like what my values should be, but also that I should choose, but also that I can't trust myself, but also that I should ask questions, but not like that. Anyway, there are a lot of tools out there for learning how to find your own core values. And so here are a few of them. Some core values that stand out to me, and it's like an ongoing process because there are things that I'm like, I really align with that one and that one and that one and that one, but what really stands out to me the most this current time of my life, I would say that perseverance and well-being are two of my core values. And whenever you understand a bit more about what your core values are, then you can reassess how in your life you can live more aligned with that. So for example, I need to sneeze. We're good. With well-being, one of my core values, there's been a number of instances where I've had to look at a situation and say, is this good for my health? And if it's not, and I literally can't continue, and there's nothing I can do to adjust it or make it better, I've had to step away from things. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that has ever had to do that. I'm not the first, I'm not the last. And if that's something that you find yourself in, I hope it's encouraging that me living in this way that is aligned with prioritizing well-being for myself, it helps me to trust myself more. And I hope that you have a similar experience with what living by your core values means to you. With perseverance being another one of my core values, it's helpful to assess how can I address how my time, my money, and my actions better align with perseverance. For example, I have done this is my second year in a row now. I've done the Artist's Way start of the year. Each time I've done this now, it gives me more insight into how I can keep moving forward. Perseverance is really important to me because I can't go on without it. Quite literally. By putting kind of like my money where my mouth is, it's nice to, and I bring up the Artist's Way specifically to this point, it's nice to understand what I want to keep persevering in and then help myself by moving things around in my life to make that happen. So, for example, if I want to persevere in acting, but I have all of my time dedicated to something else and then I'm drained by that, what can I adjust? Can I slice that commitment up into smaller things? Can I delegate? Can I change to a different focus that allows me to still act or to still teach or to still dance, sing, etc. By doing that, by carving out some of my life to better support what I value and what I'm interested in, it makes my life feel more fulfilling because it can be really easy to fall into an unhappy lifestyle. And I don't want to have an unhappy lifestyle. I hope you know. And I imagine you don't either. And this is something that it is helpful in the long run and the short run. My last thing that I want to share today is that you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and not everybody's going to be your cup of tea. A professor told me a few years ago that about 1/3 of people will be your people. Another third of people will like kind of be okay with you, and then the last third of people will not like you. And being in the arts industry and facing rejection all the time. It's okay because I understand that when I'm not somebody's cup of tea, I'm somebody else's. And that's, I mean, you don't have to force yourself into sharing my values or seeing my worth, because you know what? I see it for myself. I know that I'm pretty darn special because I love myself and I take good care of myself, and I'm gonna keep doing that as much as possible because I'm worth it, and you are too, okay? So thank you for listening. I hope this was helpful to you. You're not alone. You've got this. We're all in this together. Have a great week.